I hate fishing with these lures. I don't hate fishing in general. I just hate fishing with these lures. I have 5 lures right here that I absolutely despise fishing with. I also hate when I'm trying to film a video and our lawn service is literally weed eating and blowing leaves and grass clippings right outside my garage. Is what it is. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Colby Yak Fishing Channel. Hey, if you're new here and you want to get down with the business, what does that even mean? If you're new here and you want to see new content that I put out, then make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you never miss anything. This is going to be a pretty fun summer, and I wanted to kind of start it off with a bang and have just kind of a fun video for you here. This is all meant to be in humor and in jest. So don't get your feelings hurt too much. And again, these are lures that I don't like using. And I have various reasons why I don't like using them. You may absolutely love, and I guarantee you that there's gonna be some surprises here that some of you are gonna be like, that's my go-to lure. I slay bass with that. But you know what? I just don't like some of these, and some of these I actually hate. So how this is gonna work is I have 5 lures. I'm gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They are scaled at the least hated to the most hated. And I would really appreciate it if you let me know down in the comments your thoughts, your feelings, your betrayal, and anything else that you want to let me know about. Maybe give me some tips on how I can actually use these to catch more fish and maybe change my mind about them. Yep. Thanks, bro. He's looking at me. Yep, appreciate it. Yep, still getting it. Cool. All right, let's get into it. Number 5, my least hated, but still a lure that I despise, and it is the drop shot. What? I know what you're thinking. Drop shot's pretty popular lure, catches a lot of fish, and I'm not denying any of those things. And in fact, this little drop shot lure has actually caught me many fish. But the reason why I hate using a drop shot is because it takes so long for me to set it up. And in fact, I have to do a lot of like prep work in advance to set the drop shot up. And it's kind of a pain sometimes if you don't have the right leader material, or if you don't have a leader at all, and then tying it on and getting your weights right and getting the depth right, and it's just a tedious thing. So I kind of hate using the drop shot because I'm lazy. Not because it doesn't catch fish, but I just don't like doing all the prep work to making this rig and getting all fancy and all that kind of stuff. I often get it tangled up in stuff. It wraps around my poles if I don't have them put away right, and sometimes it's just annoying. So that's why I put drop shot, number 5. All right, number 4 on the list of baits that I hate. Now this is the second least hated. Number 4, without further ado, Carolina rig. Listen, same kind of thing here with the Carolina rig. I don't like all the prep work that goes into it. Does the Carolina rig catch fish? Yes, of course it does. It's great for deep water fishing. It's great for a ton of different types of fishing. I've caught fish on Carolina rigs for a really long time. I don't know what to do with my hands here, Ricky Bobby. Why I don't like the Carolina rig is 2 reasons, maybe 3. One is because I don't like the rigging component of it, and it gets hung up and it snaps, and then you have to retie and you lose all this shenanigan stuff that's on here, which is number 2. It tends to get hung up for me a ton, wrapping it around trees because I'm an amazing caster, getting it hung up on branches that are overhanging or in the water. And I know what you're thinking, well, if you're fishing it deep, you shouldn't have that, but sometimes it happens, and then it gets all tangled up with your gear when you're storing it. And last but not least, I don't catch a ton of fish using Carolina rigs. I'm usually fishing in small lakes and ponds and maybe rivers, and those just aren't the locations where you're going to typically use Carolina rigs. Some people would argue different, and I hope you do argue that down in the comments. Please engage with me. So number 4, like I said, for those reasons, Carolina rig. It's not like I'll never use it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to use it. All right, so number 3, we're about halfway there. Number 3 on my baits that I hate, spoons. I just can't stand spoon or blade style lures because I usually don't fish in super deep locations, and I don't really catch a ton of fish on them. I catch a lot of sticks, I catch a lot of grass, but I'm just not super confident in throwing spoons, especially in freshwater. Now, anytime I get a lure, a spoon lure of some kind in my mystery tackle box each month, guess where I put it? In my saltwater box, because spoons actually slay in saltwater, catch a bunch of mackerel and things like that, just throwing them from the shore. So for freshwater, if I see a spoon, I'm not gonna get it. I would probably never even buy a spoon in a store to fish for freshwater bass or anything like that. And I know a ton of you guys are thinking like, spoon's my main jam. Well, it's not. You can use it for jam because it's not my jam. All right, we have 2 to go. The suspense is killing me. I don't know what's killing me. I know what the final 2 are. Hopefully the suspense is killing you. Number 2 on my list of baits that I hate, prop baits. Now, what's a prop bait? Prop baits are typically used in topwater situations. Sometimes they go right below the surface, but prop baits are gonna be baits that have little spinny props on them. I don't think I've ever caught a fish using a prop bait. Do they have their place? Sure. I've seen people in like the Amazon rainforest with giant prop baits catching those huge peacock bass. I don't live in the Amazon. And if I'm using a topwater lure, there are, I could think of a ton of different right off the top of my head that has the same style spinning prop or spinning thing that's on it, like a Whopper plopper or a Guggen Squad revolver. The blades also, when they spin, they never seem to work, and sometimes they jack up the hooks and they pull in a lot of grass, and it just takes so much time, like getting the grass and the weeds out of these prop baits, and I just hate them. So if you've made it this far in the video, make sure you go down and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do all of the things that engages with this video because it really helps out. It puts this video in front of a lot of people, and I think it'll be some fun banter in the comments section about how I'm wrong, how I'm an idiot, and I don't know how to fish. So that would be fantastic. Number 1, the bait that I absolutely hate throwing, I loathe entirely. Is that a good Grinch impression? Probably not. And the number 1 bait I hate, get ready to be hashtag triggered, a frog. What? A frog is your most hated fishing lure? Yeah, frogs. I don't like frogs. I don't like the hollow body style frog lure, whether it's a fish, whether it's a frog, whether it's a duck. And the reason why I hate frogs, twofold. 1, my hookup ratio on them is terrible. I miss so many fish. I have tried them 1,000 times and I want to love them. I want to love fishing a frog. I have a frog stick, man. I have medium, heavy, I have a heavy, I use braid. Sometimes I've tried cutting the legs here. Sometimes I've tried cutting just one leg. Tried even the frog soup thing and boiling them in a pot of water to make them softer. Thanks, Ryan Rig. And nothing seems to work. I've sharpened the hooks. I've used different frogs. I've tried to do a number of different things, and I still miss so many fish. The last reason why I hate throwing a frog or frog style lure is because I just want to love it. And because it doesn't love me back, I hate it. And I hate it with a passion. I hate it that it doesn't love me. And I know that's maybe counterintuitive and maybe silly and maybe high school girlish, but I'm a high school teacher and sometimes all of their feelings and emotion rub off on me. Well, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you had a good time watching it. I hope you found some humor in it. I hope that you leave a comment and tell me, maybe give me some tips or tell me that I'm an idiot and I don't know how to fish and all of these lures catch fish and you just don't know what you're doing, and all of those things might be true. And hey, if you would like to see maybe the best video that I've ever made, make sure you click the screen right here, and until next time, keep those lines tight.